this evening, and I'm particularly happy to be here with you. And I want to be sure that you are with me, but we trust God for great network, great signal tonight. And I want to assure you, by the grace of God, that you will certainly and definitely get value for your time by the grace of God. You shall not be disappointed because faithful is our God. All right. Father, we thank you for a wonderful time. We thank you because you're faithful. And even as we treat the topic of the today, I know, dear righteous God, that you have something for your people that will be coming on board from whatever part of the world today. Father, we are grateful. We are thankful for the gift of life. You are wonderful. You are special. And I know, God, that your people will receive something today. Some time ago, we are talking about the danger of, unforgiveness with some persons around me. And so we are, um, pressed to look into the topic of forgiveness because it has its own dangerous effect in the life of people. And then from my last video, I was actually saying, welcome, and I'm happy to have you. Please stay to the end and contribute to the topic of discussion, which is the danger of unforgiveness. God wants us to forgive each other for us to live a stressless, beautiful life, and also to fulfill purpose, because when you are joyful, when you are happy, there's every tendency that it will be easier for you to achieve your goal. Thank you very much for coming in, and please do not forget to subscribe and like and just be part of what God is going to be doing as long as I live through me in the social medias. All right, so we looked at the devastating effect of not being able to forgive, and a singular fact that because we are human, people are bound to hurt us one way or the other. And we gave a typical example that even since we are born, the tongue and the teeth have been living under the same roof in the mouth, but sometimes mistakenly or somewhat, the teeth can bite the tongue or step on the tongue, and of course it's painful. That does not mean that they are going to be separate. All right, they will still keep living together. All right, so I want to say this moment that God enjoins us to live our life forgiving, because I know that God knows that because we are human, somehow we hurt the other. Somehow, even as couples, even as children, relationship between children and their parents. Welcome, thank you for coming, and I don't mind your own contribution. All right, yeah, thank you. All right, if you forgive others their trespasses, that's what the book of Matthew said in verse 14 to 15. When you forgive, that was Jesus' disciples to pray. When you forgive each other, that's when they sin against you, their trespasses, God will forgive you your trespasses. When we forgive others, when we refuse to forgive others, that means we are a kind of hampering our relationship with God. So it is very necessary that for humans, especially adults, to grow, understanding one singular fact. And what is the fact? And this is, all right, this is to let us know that as human, we are bound to hurt each other. All right, and then because we are bound to hurt each other, there is a room for us to also forgive each other. If you do not know to forgive, there is going to be so much trouble. You're going to be living in a lot of crisis. You're going to be having a lot of crisis in your life. So we encourage people to always forgive, and when they are hurt, okay, when you forgive, it's easier for you to do business and live well with the people in your life. There's so much danger, and anything danger is a red sign. It's a no-no. There's so much danger when people live unforgiven. All right? There are so many. It's dangerous to relationship. You understand? There's someone that you could have been relating with, possibly over time, over years, or you grew together if it's family, and then suddenly something happened, and then you now start bearing grudges, and one of the parts now decide that it's difficult for them to forgive. And when they live like that, you discover that the relationship which they have invested so much on, they have paid so much price to be able to keep, now begin to dwindle, now begin to have issues, because they refuse to allow for space to be forgiven. Everything about God allows for forgiving and forgiveness. When you refuse to forgive, you discover that there's going to be so much issues in your life. And if it's an habit, even if you shift base and make another relationship, because you are human and because the other is human and they have their various temperament, the tendency to hurt one another will still be there. There's a huge tendency. So if you do not understand the beauty of forgiving each other, what happens is that as you come into relationship with one person, as you get married, or as you have your children, however it is, when hurts come, you run away, or you have run away from understanding to forgive. You just discover that you just leave the person, and if you meet another person, you still have the same problem. Austin Villa, thank you. Thank you very much, and I want to say welcome. All right. Thank you, Tishber. I will work on that. I appreciate it. But please like my channel and please be a part of what I'm doing. I like the correcting aspect of it, and I want to change by the grace of God to be better so that I can have you there. It opens doors to, withdrawals from, loneliness. When you live unforgiving people, you now become a shadow of yourself. You withdraw, it opens door. You tend to always withdraw from people, and most time it leads to loneliness. Everyone knows that lonely life does not produce a lot of joyous, joyful, happy living. And so people are encouraged not to live lonely. And so each time you decide not to forgive people when they hurt you, you find yourself going back to your shell. And when you go back to your shell, most of the time you live a lone life. I said most of the time, not all of the time. Lynn, welcome. I appreciate your being there. Welcome. God answer your prayers. It makes you to withdraw from family. I have had situation where people had one problem or the other, and wow, they now withdraw from, family members, children. I had a wonderful family that I'm very close to over years, but because they had some problems with their parents, or the father, to be precise, the father of the home. And what we finally happened is that those children withdrew. There was no communication over years until this man, their father, passed on, died. There was no communication. What good has he added to the life of the children that they were not communicating? But when we put ourselves, we come down to try to understand why people acted or act the way they do, and then try to say, we don't want this, please, there should at least not be a repetition, or it should be curtailed. Honestly, it can be handled instead of people living in bitterness and stop relating with people that God has brought their way. Why? Because they refuse to forgive. Unforgiveness, like I was giving an example yesterday, has led the death of so many people. They began to develop some illnesses, ill health, mental, physical, spiritual, because they are bitter inside. A bitter heart does not really bring in anything that good. Lack of what transparency, you discover that friends and family that refuse to forgive each other, when they hurt themselves, begin to live a life of, they just bottle up, and they cannot be open to share their progress or their failure. They cannot be able to share their pains. Why? Because they refuse to be transparent any longer to family people or people that are in their lives that are supposed to see them and are supposed to help them to move from one level onto the other. So when you live on unforgiving, you see yourself not being transparent. I am someone, I preach out of experience, or I teach out of experience. Hello, thank you very much, all right, for being with me. Please do not forget to subscribe, and I need your own contribution on what forgiveness have done in the life of people and the negative effects in our world. You can imagine a world full of people that are just unforgiving in their heart. It's going to be so much a toxic environment for people to live in. You go to your place of work, we are all created to relate constantly, on a constant basis, with fellow human. So you see your people that you should relate with, and then you are not talking with them. You go to work, you are not talking with your colleagues. You go to the marketplace, you are not talking with, you have some people that you just want to avoid the religious place of worship. You just discover you're not forgiving. Even sometimes your spiritual heads, even your family members, your wife, your husband, when you live unforgiving, there's always one crisis or the other. You are not helping to build a better world. You are not helping to build a better world when you do not live a free, sweet life of forgiving. Someone that around me will always say, give, all right, forgiveness on credits. And I was trying to read the comments, and it's very funny. Give forgiveness on credits. Knowing that humans are frail, humans have weaknesses, so they are bound to hurt you. If you have that mindset that someone could hurt you someday or somehow, just forgive the person, all right? Forgive the person before that hurts. That will heal you. Another way is make excuse, if it's possible, for why the persons are acting the way they are acting. Why? You give reasons. Okay, possibly the persons are not in the right mind or frame of mind and having the right mindset at the moment, or they've been hurt or something. That could be the reason why they are acting the way they are acting. And because of that, I say this: when we make excuse for our fellow human, we discover that we do not put to or take to heart anything they would have done against us. All right, it's a bad sign for those, for people when they live on, this kind of life. It's not good for your mental health. I always talk about, and I'm passionate when it comes to mentoring to the next generation. What our children see matter a lot. So what are we mentoring for them to see? If we live unforgiven, when they hurt us, we cannot forgive them. When they see adults that are grown parents, uncles, aunts, not talking to each other, when we see them fighting over trivial, unimportant things, that means we are teaching the children to do the same when they come up. It's wrong to teach the children. It's wrong to make the children feel things that are wrong are right. Anything that is wrong, no matter the English or grammatical expression that we want to give to it. All right? They are seeing, and children actually learn so much from what they see than from what they hear you say. Don't do that, don't do that. Does not sometimes correct the people that are coming. But when they see you act, the picture registers in their mind and they want to do what they see you do. The children will take after us when we are off the shores of the earth someday. What legacy are we living if we cannot live life of unforgiveness when we are hurt? The see, the learn from the social media. Sometimes you see people, using abusive language. They want to fight. And our children and our younger ones and the people that are coming spend most of their time and life on the social media. What are you saying and what are you passing to the generation that are coming? As you are, there are so many people that you are mentoring, knowingly or unknowingly, especially if you are a content creator or you have a message that you pass online. True. You are mentoring so many people without your knowing. And our life is a spiritual life. Whatever we do, directly or indirectly, we discover that people just, you just feel it somehow. You don't lie forever. You don't hide things forever. They will soon show forth itself. Character displays itself, no matter how pretentious we tend to make it. All right? Children might just start, emulating us if we do not change our attitude. And when we are far gone, the picture we have left for them is what they will eventually take. And one of the other reasons why it is not pleasant to live unforgiving is that your mental health, like I said, it's also affected. People that live like that easily get into depression. If you want to fight off depression, please, I beg you, learn to live a life full of unforgiveness. Thank you for staying on. I'm waiting for your contribution. Please subscribe to my channel and help us to go on. Mental health. Guard your mental health. Lack of forgiveness will easily bring about anxiety and fear. Anxiety and fear. Anxiety and fear, it's just common for people that cannot forgive. Like I started earlier with, we are living with human from various parts of the world, various parts of, places, raised from different family, different mindset and orientation. So they are bound to hurt you however way. I'm telling you the truth, I lie not. They are bound to hurt you. But that's not a prayer, but peradventure, all right? Peradventure someone hurts you. Please, what I'm trying to say, learn to give forgiveness on credit. Drink a cup of coffee over that. Just forgive. Take your ice cream and let it go. Free yourself. When you forgive, you free yourself and you free the other. The truth is that the person that you are hurting over might not even know that you are hurting over the person. Another thing is your physical health. Your physical health can be affected when you live your life unforgiving the other. All right? Physical health like high BP, hypertension. One can easily develop heart disease. I had this slogan while growing up. And what was it? No one is big enough for me to hold in my heart. In fact, I have no space in my heart to hold anyone. I have no space to bear grudges against anyone. I have no space. There are better things I need to do with my life. And so because of that, we keep encouraging people. Live a life free of, freeing yourself of the attitude of not being able to forgive. Your spiritual health can also be, hampered. Like God, Jesus was teaching his disciples to pray. He said, forgive us our trespass as we forgive those who trespass against us. Jesus was one teaching them. That means when they do not forgive, even God will not forgive you. If God is angry with you, I thank God God is not angry with all of us and everyone viewing and watching this video. But if God is not happy with you, you can be sure that your prayers can be hindered, and that thing that you keep trusting God to do for you to make you a better person might not even come as quickly. It might not come when you expect it. Why? Because you're living in unforgiveness. All right? Discomfort in fellowshipping with God. When you are living in unforgiveness, truly, you find it so difficult to come back to fellowship with God. You find it difficult to come back to fellowship with fellow humans. You find it difficult. So we encourage people, do not live in, unforgiveness. Bitterness. Unforgiveness leads to bitterness. Unforgiveness, it leads to bitterness. I pray that God help us to overcome that. But in as much as we try to overcome living in the bitterness, it's much easier and sweeter to learn to live in an unforgiving manner. Bitterness can lead to so many other things. They are very, very infectious, you understand? And there are ways of, in fact, living life freely by living unforgiving. No matter the level of hurt. I talk a lot about marriages, relationship between spouses, couples, about to be married. I've counseled people over time. I've had several beautiful relationships that has prospect, that's going to be strong foundational. We have strong foundation and base that people can learn from. But because of the simple act of, not being able to forgive each other, these people packed up. And that was the end. A lot of marriages are broken up because the other refused to forgive the other when they did wrong against each other. It's easy to forgive, please. It's very, very easy to forgive, and I want to shout it aloud. You can forgive whatever. You are human. More so, the love of God, Romans 5:5, is shed abroad in your heart, is given to you. You have the nature of God. It's so sad to see couples, most times friends, lovers, going to places, especially those that are married and living together, going to church and wherever, they are going to, with bitterness in their hearts. Not being able to forgive each other is a sad story, and it's a sad way of living that we cannot afford to continue. We should kill every spirit of unforgiveness possible. A typical example, when we were born as infants, as just giving birth to little babies, there's nothing in our hearts. There's nothing in our, there's no spirit. You're not angry with anyone. So whatever character that individuals have is what they picked as they were growing from what they saw people doing, or attitude they decide to keep, which they don't want to let go of. Many people have died in illness because they live, unforgiving life. I'm telling us the truth. My age is not small. I lie not, and if you can learn from me, it doesn't worth it bearing grudges against anyone. It doesn't worth it living unforgiving life. It doesn't worth it. It doesn't in any form worth it. It's a waste of time and waste of energy, because you take so much energy trying to hold people in your hearts. It's a waste of time. Talking about people. When you want to talk about anyone, talk about the good aspect of them. Sometimes when I'm on sending messages, I'm streaming, I'm telling them, please, nice comments. Some people, because they are not even cultured from where they are coming from, they'll come to social media and say all kinds of things. This we are picked because when we are born, we are not born with them. All these attitudes we are picked the same way because we are picked. You can take them off the way you take off your clothes. The way you take off your clothes, regardless, you can take them. I take off unforgiveness. I remove them. I fold them. I throw them off. I don't want them. It's not part of my life. I choose to live a joyful, free life. It's a choice. And because it's a choice, God in his wisdom will now help you to be that better person. Being sorrowful, being sad was a clothing that we consciously, began to wear. Ada, thank you for commenting. And I want to say, please subscribe to my channel. We made the choice to begin to wear some clothing. And because you're wearing those clothing, it became like a part of you. When people see you, they recognize you with that clothing you're putting on. But that's not your real self, because the real self, your real self that God gave birth or allowed to come to the earth, he said, I knew you in your mother's womb before you were even formed. He knew you. Your real self was that innocent child that was born. And then, but as you were growing up, you began to pick some characters. And some of these characters can be detrimental to our health. It can be very dangerous to our health. Bitterness is like, kills gradually. Bitterness can allow for cancerous disease. Bitterness, yes, it can allow for cancerous disease. Bitterness can allow for, a form of discomfort. It can affect your mind. And that's as part of the fruiting of unforgiveness. All right? When you live unforgiving, one other thing that you discover is you have emotional paralysis. You become so emotional unbalanced. This can, of course, lead to unhealthy mental and spiritual condition. Emotional. You just begin to, example, you just get sad unnecessarily. It's an emotions. And you begin to deal with people based on your emotions. And that's bad. That's bad. When you begin to deal with people based on emotions and feeling. A lot of couples, a lot of women want to apply emotional acts or wisdom on their husbands, their children, any little thing. Because you're bitter, you start crying. We call them emotional blackmails. It's not accepted. It can be curtailed. It can be handled. No to any emotional blackmail. It's a wrong act and wrong way of living. You will now come and begin to ask for something, and when it's not given to you because it's not good for you, you begin to, act emotionally. You withdraw into your shells and become a shadow of yourself. Emotional way of living is witchcraft. And I want to tell people, if you have managed living with people over time and they still live emotionally, trying to blackmail you, emotional blackmail, please run away from such persons. So lack of forgiveness or unforgiving, I'm telling you the truth, can lead to your emotional paralysis. You begin to work with people based on their emotion. Hello, Akraf Fredel. Pardon me if I didn't pronounce your word very well. I want to say you are welcome. God bless you. Please subscribe to my channel. Help me to grow on. God bless you. Thank you. Yeah, it says no aggression. No aggression. Do not live in aggression. Most people that live unforgiving are full of aggression. When you see people always agitating and always shouting, look again. Just take a look at them. Study them carefully. You just discover that they are not living a happy life. And they tend to pass this. All right? They tend to pass this to the next person. He said, love that you may live. Live a love life. When you live a love life, I'm telling you, it's difficult for you to live unforgiving people. Even the Bible talks about, if anyone offended you, or is not talking to you, let me paraphrase it, He said, call a brother or someone in our own, a sister. Every other person can be a brother, brethren. Go and tell the person. Go and make up. What you did, I didn't like it. If the person refused, call elders. When the person refused to answer or forgive you, call the church, the community, call everyone. If the person refused to listen to everyone, then treat the person like an unbeliever, not a brother, not a friend, not even an husband. I don't know how people get married and live in the same house, you know, being wicked to the other or not talking to the other. And if one day there is a little problem in the house, and this couple that I saw one time, and I went actually to go and see how I can help them, this woman brought out lists. So date he did this, and the other time I can't remember the exact date he did this. He kept keeping records of wrong. Love does not keep record of wrongdoing. Love does not keep record of wrong. Zach, welcome. I appreciate your comment. Make sure you become my friend by subscribing and liking. Drop your comment, more comment. Let's talk more on, the dangers in living unforgiving life. Please, just stay on for me. Thank you, Zach. I am Nigeria. I am from Nigeria. I'm happy to be meeting up with you. So I want to say that this woman now brought lists. On so date you did that. On so date you did that. On so date you did that. The man now got angry and said, okay, should I start naming my own? On so date you did this. On so date you did that. It's not necessary. We shouldn't live our life doing what is not necessary. All right? Thank you. Thank you. Can I read the comments? Whenever you're trying to show and smile. Thank you, Weko from Zambia. All right, I didn't get it right. The truth of the matter is that it might be painful when you are hurt, and then you have reasons, of course, not to, forgive the persons. But the truth is that it's better, not to live in hatred. It's better to try to forgive whoever that has hurt you. It's better than living in unforgiveness. If you know you cannot put up with the person anymore, just, create a distance. Your joy, your health is more important. I have a little girl, and I always tell her, people that cannot celebrate you, people that cannot talk well of you, people that want to pull you down, stay away from such persons until they grow and realize that their way of life they have chosen, or the way they are treating you, is not the way they should treat you. Yeah, that's the truth. If they know this, they will give you some space. If you are relating with someone before you get married, I'm into a relationship. Relationship building is one area I love to talk about. And this person will refuse, but want to blackmail you emotionally, always by trying to do things that will hurt you and give you reason why you should, keep forgiving, or why are you taking it so serious. Oh my, please stay away from that person for a season and see if the person can change. There are some people that, they have lived in so much unforgiveness. You live in unforgiveness, devil himself or the enemy will put so much suggestion in your mind. Oh yeah, kill him. Or deal with him. Sniff life out of him. Suggestions will begin to come, and the suggestions are usually negative. What did I say? When you live truly life not forgiving, suggestions will begin to drop in your mind on what to do with that person. And before you know it, you begin to hurt, you begin to hate. You begin to raise gangs, people to be against these ones. Oh, please. It's not nice to live like that. I have a woman that gave me an example one of the days, and what did she say to me? She said, I lived in so much of forgiveness, my husband was not getting it right. My husband will hurt me, I will put the unforgiveness, I will put it in my mind. But because she is a believer in Christ Jesus, she believed that it hindered her from accessing her blessing until she now learned over time to live forgiving. She just forgive and began to love. This woman that had been married for many years without some blessing now begin to receive the blessing. So that if you live unforgivingly, that's me now talking. How can God entrust you with so much, let's say a big enterprise that will have to give life to so many people? You might have so many staff working under you and eating from that establishment or company. You can manage the people, they hurt you, you hit them, you say things negatively against them, you just hate them. That also means that by the time you grow up, you understand, and established, and you are so big, you will do the same to other people. All right? Okay, he's trying to say, let us understand what he's trying to say. He said, what if love always hits you back in a painful way whenever you try to show and share? All right. Let me go back to your question. All right. He said, what love? Okay, I am a typical example. I grew up, I always say it in my videos, in a very bad polygamous home. My father was the man that we love other women. And then he had another wife too at this time, which we are not living almost together as a family. My mom was the first wife, and you know what happened? It was full of my half siblings, my stepmom. They were so, so difficult to live with, unlovable, and they always hit you back. It's just unlove, they will hit you back. I grew up working among colleagues that were the same. But do you know what? To answer the question, it says, keep giving what? Forgiveness on credit. Santino, welcome. God bless you. Please subscribe to my channel. I love you. I'm not saying you, but I know that you are sent by God to be a part of this program, because I have prayed and said, God, send people. I need your contribution. So I've been hurt severally in life. Most part of my life, I've had people hurting me. But I refuse to allow it get at me. I keep forgiving. It pays. It's better to forgive than to bear grudge. And so to answer the question, when you keep giving love and the people keep paying you back in a negative way or keep hurting you, what do? I want to say to you, please keep loving. It costs nothing to love. The love of God is shed abroad in your heart through Christ Jesus. It costs nothing to love. So please keep loving. Keep loving. Keep loving. Sorry, I can't speak French. You can translate. I can't read French. Keep loving. Keep loving. Love, and free yourself from the act of the wicked ones that want to pull you down. Remember, anyone that wants to pull you down, it's on assignment from the enemy. Don't give them that chance. Don't give them the opportunity to want to pull you down. No. Be your happy self. Thank you, Santino. Can you stay on wall with us? Have you subscribed? I appreciate you. Thank you. Not what is in this world does not require you. You as yourself demanding mercy. All right. However, I completely understand that the world that we find ourselves is a difficult place to be, but we should not make it more difficult for ourselves. No, don't make it more difficult for yourself by living a joyless or a stressful life of unforgiveness. Honestly, instead of anyone to hurt me, I run away from such person. I don't want to live on unforgiveness. So if I keep giving my love to you, if I keep being there, I care for people. I love to care for people. I love to help people. I have NGO mindset because I was raised like that. I'm the first among 12 children, right? Because of that, I learned to love at all costs. Love is the ultimate. When you live a life of love, you have no fear for anything. You can't live unforgiving. All right? Spiritual, it affects you spiritually. Like I said, negative emotions like anger. You know, when you see people that easily get angry, run away from them, because they are people whose hearts are filled with so many things, and we are not about to come and buy into other people's trouble. All right, thank you for that. All right, Mark, thank you for the comment, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. All right, I can be your fan too. Just let's be friends. I appreciate that. All right, let's be together. I want someday to be a partner with YouTube so I can be on as often as possible. And I pray that God help us to actualize that. All right, God bless you. And so, do not allow, when you live unforgiving, you just see yourself living in guilt. You condemn yourself before other people condemn you. And you have fear. You know, no fear. You live in fear, and fear can actually bring about, some form of paralysis. All right? You deliberately just, keep hurting people because you're not happy. Someone that is not a happy person, it's difficult for the person to give out happiness to any other person. So I charge couples, I charge people in relationship, I charge lovers, I charge, families, I charge children every time. If you watch all my videos, that's what I keep doing on a daily basis, every day. I charge people to live a free, joyful life. You cannot give what you do not have. Just like I don't have much money, I don't have money on me. If this is not mine, I can't give it out. But I can give it out because it's mine. Live a joyful life. That's God's design for all of his own. And you cannot do that without living, a life free of forgiveness. All right, Mark, welcome. Hello to you. I want to wait for your contribution. Please, people that you are bound to, forgive as much as possible. People that you work with, everyone, but because you relate with these people daily, so you should wear the garment of forgiveness. Wear it like clothing. Don't pull it out. Wear it like clothing. Who are wrong, not so wrong. Those who are unlucky, but definitely not tomorrow. All right, thank you for your contribution. I want to say please subscribe to my channel, and God bless you for your contribution. I appreciate it. So make sure you always forgive your colleagues at work when they hurt you. You didn't know yourself before now, so why live the way you are living? Why be angry or get angry with them? You are not of the same family, possibly. Why allow yourself to get worked up because of them? Another people that you cannot do without forgiving are your family. Husband, wife, spouses, lovers that have a definition of where they are going to. Make sure you always forgive each other. Ahmed, welcome. I am fine, Ahmed. Thank you for coming again. Make sure you bring your contribution. We are talking about the dangers of unforgiveness. People live in unforgiving. You can't be working with your friends or your colleagues and not forgive. They will hurt you somehow. You can't be married and keep malice with your spouse. No. In your neighborhood where you find yourself, make sure that you do not live, keeping malice or unforgiving among your fellow, neighbors. God brought you all together, and he knows why you are neighbors. Why should you fight with your neighbor? Why should you fight with your neighbor? Why should you fight? Why should you want to hurt your neighbor? Why? Why should you want to hurt your extended family people? In-laws. I like to talk about in-laws. I did that in one of my books. And I want to talk about it. Some people are not comfortable with their in-laws. Why? God knew who you're going to get married to. He knew it. And he brought your in-laws to you as gifts. They are not witches like some people in Africa content. We see them. They are not evil people. My in-laws are my brothers and my sisters. They are beautiful gifts from God. So I want to see the beauty in them that I can capitalize on and add value to my life and also bless them so that when I'm not even there, they will be happy having me in their family. It's a privilege for you to be among your husband's people. It's a privilege. It's a privilege. Yes, I know. Thank you, Eka, that everyone has disagreements in life. Yeah, but we are talking about it's better to manage it than living in sorrow. Oh, don't you think so? Oh, if you don't think so, bring your own, advice or words to that. I choose to live a joyful life. I choose to live a happy person. It's a choice. I choose. I do not want to live a sad person. People have their disagreements. If I come across you in life and I discover that you choose to sorrow or always be a pity person, your pity self, a pity person, a sorrowful person. If you choose to remain that kind of person, and I know it's going to have some ripple effects in my own life, it's gonna be contagious and I will be affected. I will choose truly to stay away from you for my health. So it's not important as far as I'm concerned, however you feel, as long as truly I am happy. If you're gonna make me to keep haughty, I run away from you. True. If one person is going to make you to sin, the Bible says even if one eye is going to make you to sin, plug it out. If you're going to make me to be an unhappy version of myself, I stay away from you so that I don't hurt you and you don't hurt me and you don't go back, because I don't keep anything in my heart. Truly, that's just me. Individuals are different. So I could even hurt you, which I don't pray to, and I go home not knowing that I have hurt you, but I'm careful not to step on toes. To me, that's the best way of living. I'm very careful not to step on toes. Because people, like here just said, everyone have their own way of life. Everyone have their own things that are hurting them. Everyone have what is their pains. So why should I add to someone's pain with my own way of life, mannerism, and attitude? No, I don't want that. I don't want that. So if I see you and I read you over time, when I see someone, I want to read the kind of person they are before I give myself to them. So if I see that you are someone that wants to hurt and you are not quick at forgiving, or you forgive and do the same again. There's someone that I met recently, and the complaint is that he will do the same thing again. He will hurt and he will come back and do the same thing again. When they sit down, people now got tired of the same person because he will do the same thing again. For your health, for the benefit of your health, please, those are not good people to be around. They are not great people to live around. Please, they are not wonderful people around. I beg you, change your friends, change the people that are not going to contribute, in a better way in your life. God has given you this beautiful life, and it is for you to live it to the fullness. And I want to say to someone that has a character of not loving to forgive people, if you go somewhere, watch it. If you go somewhere and people are complaining about your way of life, honey, change you. Because you can go somewhere again and people will still complain about your life. Is that the best way to live? Is that the best way to live? And if you refuse to change, they said a monkey in Africa, when he goes other places, he can still be the monkey. That's not the best way to live. Live a joyful life. Live a life that, it will be so impressive for people to have things to do with you. Live a life that will be, when you leave, people will miss you for your goodly way of living or approach that you give to people. I had someone in my life that, would leave me, and I had nothing to miss about this person. You know why? He wasn't living as is expected. True. When you are not there, what will people say about you? For example, you change your place of work. What will people say about you? Will you be remembered for not, not, not giving forgiveness, keeping malice, keeping records? The Bible talks about keeping records of wrong. You don't keep records of wrong. Don't keep records of wrong. It's wrong to keep records of wrong. Yeah. What will you be remembered for? And if you refuse to change your character, wherever you go to, you still be doing the same. All right, let us stop that, community. Thank you. Change your character. Change your character. Someone said, no, it's difficult for me. This is my way of life. I've been like this and I've been like that. I'm okay like that. No. Like I gave the illustration when I started. When we are giving birth to, it was excellent. Children are innocent. That's the way God sent us to the earth. Let's not come and start forming all kinds of attitudes, garbage, every garbage in, and you are bringing it out, and you say, that's me. Oh, that's me. Someone said, that's me. Just leave me alone. This is where I am. I can't change. You can't change. Then you're going to have problem in the future with people. You have to change there. You have to change so you don't have problem with people. Someone says, and the character was so smelly, they sent him out of the place he was working. Yeah. And he said, yes, sis, I don't need it. To hell, take the job. They can take the job. To hell with them, I don't need them. I don't need them. You don't need them. He needed to collect, what is it called? Recommendation for this place. He left like that. And somehow they refused to give me. Someone saw I got the other job. But do you know, the same smelly attitude was what he went and exhibited in the other place. And before they send him away, no apology. He cannot apologize. How long will a reasonable, responsible person be living their life like that? How long do you want to live your life like that? How long? How long would you want to live your life like that? Live well, live calmly. Let people want to embrace you. And so you free yourself from living life full of unforgiveness. Live well, be calmly, be gracious in your appearance and mannerism. Please like the video, watch my other videos, subscribe. Be gracious in your mannerism, smile. If you have nothing to give to someone, just give them some smile. Be truthful. Truth is beautiful. Can you please be truthful? Live a life full of truth. Be truthful. Truth is everything fantastic. Truth is everything beautiful. Just be truthful. Be truthful to yourself. A lot of people live in lies. When you live in lies, you are not getting anything. The fruit of lies is not beautiful, it's rottenness. And so no matter how you pretend to be nice to people, it will soon show. There's a fruit into everything. The fruit of kindness, we know what it's all about. The fruit of hard work is the beauty that comes, the plenty that you get. And so the fruit of lies, is nothing to write home about. So I want to say to you, please, live life to the fullness. Live life, enjoyable. Live life. Just live life. Free yourself. Free yourself. Don't live life trying to be who you are not. Don't live life trying to impress, people. And at the long run, living a false life. God has given you life to enjoy to the fullness. Do not make yourself what God has not made you. That's my take for the evening. When you live in an unforgiving manner, you fret inside. You are full of uncertainty. People just are not sure of what to do with you or how to live with you. So that's why it's sweeter to live life full of forgiving people. All right? Live life forgiving everyone that would have hurt you one way or the other. It's perfect to free yourself. Do not entangle your life so that you can go to bed freely. You can eat your food, being sure that it's being digested well. You can just live a life full of, sweetness. Yeah. Live free. Free yourself. Free yourself. Free yourself. It's excellent and perfect to live like that. Forgive your children. I've had a situation whereby I have to talk to some adults. Their children were complaining and they said their parents cannot forgive them. And I said, like I said earlier, you have to be an example for the children to follow. And I'm the parents. Why will I ask for forgiveness? No, it doesn't reduce you. When they hurt you or anyone hurts you and they ask for forgiveness, it doesn't in any way reduce you. It doesn't reduce you in any way. It doesn't. It doesn't change your name. It doesn't change your complexion. It doesn't change you from a beautiful you to an ugly person. No, it doesn't. So the best thing to do with yourself is learn to forgive. Nobody pulls you down. Anyone that wants to pull you down because you forgive or you forgive easily is fooling themselves. It cannot change you. It cannot change your name. So it's so beautiful to forgive at all time. Like I started by saying, give forgiveness on credit and God will bless you as you do so. All right? Forgive people that you do business with. We have had people that, they are into business, they are business partners, and they have somewhat. Some people can be controlled by spirits to just hurt you. And they have hurt their business partners. And this other person said, no, they cannot. Oh my, it's so difficult. They have lost lots of money. Capital has gone into so much and we couldn't just get anything reasonable out of it. And they find it difficult to forgive. And what do you say, like a life of Job, where all that he had, he lost in a couple of, just in one day. And then another thing happens. And you yourself that say you're not forgiving. Now God hits again. That means you're going to die. Yeah? You might end up going to die if you do not if you do not forgive, learn to forgive, and then another thing happens. Life is full of several examples of people that lost it here and lost it there. And most of the time, people are, agents of vehicle that bring about these unnecessary hurts. And so when it comes and you cannot forgive and trust God for a change of wisdom to make it, start off again and be a better version, what will finally happen is that you lose it all. And when you lose it all, what do you say? Nothing. All right? So I want to charge you again and again. Please do not live your life in a wrong manner, living unforgiving. Forgive even a situation whereby couple have to part. Forgive yourself so that when you are meeting again, you meet as friends. Even those that had to choose the path of divorce, forgive yourself so that you not bear grudges in the future. Or if you have children and then in a marriage and a case of divorce now came up, which we are against, but sometimes it happens, all right? And then what do you do at that situation? For the sake of the children, forgive. Someday we are going to leave the shores of this earth, leaving the children behind. What do? You are no longer there. In fact, sometimes one of the spouse will leave the earth before the other. So what happens to the children that you have left and you are, preventing the other and you are angry? Hello? Manji, welcome. Thank you. God bless you. So I want to encourage us, please. We cannot afford to live our life unforgiving to the other. Thank you very much. I have a lot of videos you can watch out there and just receive life and light and be entertained. Please let's remain friends as you subscribe to my channel and like it. I am going to drop another tomorrow morning, and I want to say please hang on up with me. I want to meet up, and also so that I can remain on the social media being a blessing to my world. You are special, you are precious, and I want to tell you that you are loved. I for one love you. Peradventure someone I've not told that they do love you, I want to say I love you. God bless you. Have a good rest and take care of your health. Live life free of, unforgiveness. Live life full of joy. You are special. God bless you. All right. God bless you. Thank you.